Hello everyone, welcome to the stream for today. We're going to get started in just a bit. I always start a little bit early so that we can interact with the chat, see how everyone's doing, and then go over the prerequisites. Hello. Yes. Some people here from India, some people in Korea. Alexis, I got back from the store with new pens. Yes. New stationery is always the best way to get get some extra motivation to do studying. I know how that feels. Like you get a new notebook, you get some new pens, you want to make it all like super neat, but then like after a few weeks you're just like blah, 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 like you just grab the pen that you find under the bed and just use whatever. But then you get a new one, you're like, oh, got to start fresh, got to write nicely again. California, Germany, nice. Nashville, Tennessee, Dubai, cool. Indiana. Friction erasable pens. Yeah, those used to be the coolest thing in like elementary school, was having like erasable pens and erasable highlighters too. Twice one. What's that? You were really typing? When I was slamming the keyboard, I was just joking around. I can type really fast, but not that fast. Hey, Himong. Welcome. Miami, Florida. I hear about Florida all the time in the news. That's all I know about it. All the crazy stuff that goes on in Florida. Poland, nice. You guys got the game coming out soon. Cyberpunk coming out next year. Italy, cool. I want to go to Italy just to eat your food. All of your food. Steal it all and then come back. Corn. Yes, so today's lesson is going to be about corn, as you can see in the title. The prerequisites for this lesson are basic past, present, and future tense conjugation. So if you don't know how to say things in these tenses, then today's lesson will be way above what would be useful for you. The other thing is, if you know how to change action verbs and descriptive verbs into adjectives, this will save you a lot of time for today's lesson, because this is something you need to know in general in Korean, but it's also something that applies for this lesson because of one of the forms that we're going to be using today uses this same conjugation. So by that I mean, if you can change an action verb like to go and you combine it with 사람, person, you could be able to say the person who went, past tense, the person who goes, present tense, and the person who will go, future tense. So 간, 사람, past, 가는, present, and 갈, future. These I actually did in a previous live stream as well as this, but this one has a previous live stream. There might even be a abridged version already. I'm not sure. Maybe not. But yeah, so make sure you know how to do this as well so that you can get the most out of this lesson. And of course, you want to make sure you can at least read this, because we don't use any romanization. I've never used romanization before for learning Korean. Except like, by accident or, sometimes writing things in a video. But yeah, you want to make sure you can at least, of course, read Hangul, be familiar with the different tenses, and this one, most importantly, action verbs into adjectives. Descriptive verbs into adjectives is great too, because it also works with both action and descriptive verbs. Ehimon, I'm making soup. I had soup for lunch. I had a clam chowder with, oh gosh, there's these, I can't remember the name, but I started going to the Filipino market. There's like a Filipino market not too far from my house, and they sell these like crackers that they're just like plain crackers. Like they're all real ingredients on the back. You can understand every ingredient. It's like flour, water, oil, salt, like that's it. Like yeast, it's really basic ingredients. And they're individually packed so they don't go bad. They are so good. They're like the best saltine crackers I've ever had in my life because of how simple they taste. They're just so good. Anyway, yeah, they sell them at the Filipino market. I guess it's a thing in Philippines, but yeah, so we started buying those, and they're just like the best crackers with soup. If you know what I'm talking about, do you know what I'm talking about? What are those called, those crackers? I have it downstairs. I just can't think of what it's called. But yeah, like they sell like this big box of them. They're really good. Crab chowder. I've never had crab chowder, but that sounds good. I've made clam chowder a lot. I've never made crab chowder. And I've made lobster bisque before. that's not too hard. Idaho, nice. Soup be out here changing lives. Yes. Croutons? No, they're not croutons. Oyster crackers are pretty good too. Yeah. Oyster crackers are good too. Okay, so yeah, just make sure that you're familiar with these before the lesson. I like starting right at 2, but we're still a little bit early. So I also wanted to mention that, oh yeah, you also want to make sure you're familiar with the object marker. I didn't say this, but you should also know the object marker. The reason is, 걸, one of the, most of the time you see 걸 in Korean, most of the time, it's going to just be 것, thing, you know, plus the object marker, Now, 것 is often in just spoken Korean shortened to 거, and this object marker here, when it goes after a vowel, it often just gets shortened to this. Now, this is only in spoken Korean. In fact, most of the time, Koreans won't even write it like this. Even if they're writing casual Korean, putting this at the bottom of a word that ends with a vowel can make your sentence sound a little bit too casual, I'll say. So like if you're an intermediate learner and you want to know like about using this object marker like this, I would recommend like you might see it from time to time, but more commonly, even when Koreans are speaking casually, they will not just add this to the bottom of a noun that ends in a vowel to make it the object marker. You can do it, however. It's just not as common as you might think. So I'll give you an example of that. I'll write this over here. Call over there. So an example of that might be, you might see 우리, and then you might want to say 우리를 좋아하는 가족, like a family that likes us. You might say 우리를 좋아하는 가족. But some people, I know this isn't related to the lesson, that's why I'm just doing it right now. Some people might say, oh, well, this ends in a vowel, so I can say 우리를 좋아하는 가족, or 우리를, whatever, you know, as the object mark. And you can do this, totally fine. It's just not as common as you might think it is. Like, words that use it, and words that don't, typically don't. I'll give you another example. Like 나는, right? You can have 나를, or most often it just becomes 날. So with this word, 나를, more often becomes 날. With 거, more often becomes 걸 when it's with the object marker, but not just every noun. Like, this is not a rule. This is not something that you have to do or that you even should do. Just do it where words are already done like this. That sentence sounds like something Yogi Berra would say. Okay, just do this in cases that you've seen it being used. So don't just go around like, you know, like flex tape, slapping this lir onto the bottom of every word that ends in a vowel, because it can make your Korean sound a little bit too casual if it's not on a word that typically uses that in that way. I'll just say that. So it's not like, you think, oh, I can always shorten it to here. I can shorten it to here. Look, I can shorten it to here and here and here. Yes and no. So I would just recommend knowing what it is, because you might see it. People who are trying to sound very extra casual might use it. It's just not that common. Okay, let's check the chat. We're still a little bit early. Still waiting for some more people to come in before we start with the official lesson at 2. Not Yogi Bear, Yogi Berra. You know that guy, the famous guy that said the quotes that make no sense? I can't remember his name. I think he was like a coach or something. I learned about him in high school. I can't remember his actual name. He's pretty famous though. Nice, Alexis Franklin. You know, the funny thing, Alexis, is that all of those emotes that I made, so if you're a member on the YouTube, if you're a member of my channel, like you get access to these little emotes, like these special emoticons. I made all of those by hand. They're all actually animated, but you can't see the animations because YouTube doesn't allow animated emotes yet. But they're all animated. So when I uploaded them animated, YouTube told me, oh, you can only use them unanimated. So I'm like, no. So I had to like resave, like pick the right frame I wanted to save. But yeah, originally they're all animated, and some of them you can still see animated on the Discord. If you have a Discord Nitro, then you can post animated emotes, and including like the dab emote. That one's also animated. Alexis, animated. You talked about it before. Yeah. Someone asked, how much did I miss? Nothing. We were just getting started. So for today's lesson, I want to encourage your guys' participation too, because the thing is, actually, we have covered, let's see, 1, 2, 3, of the 3 major uses of 걸 that we're going to be learning about today. I have already covered 2 of them in previous live streams, but I haven't singled them out as being like 걸, and I haven't gone into much detail about them. But we have covered 2 of the 3 topics that we're going to be talking about today. For example, one of them is 걸 그랬다. This one we actually covered when I did the lesson about how to say should and should not. This is actually more of an advanced form, or maybe at least high intermediate form. But when I covered it there, because it was just a footnote, I only briefly covered it. So today's lesson, I'm going to be going into more detail about how you can use it. So that's for you intermediates watching. The other forms that we use today, such as like 할 걸, 하는 걸, or 한 걸. These ones I previously covered, I didn't single out 걸 like this, but these forms I covered previously in the lesson where I talked about how to change action verbs into adjectives, as well as the lesson about how to change descriptive verbs into adjectives. So it's the same concept, just used with 걸. So the reason I'm actually doing a lesson about 걸 is because I've gotten requests to do it. So people, my guess is maybe people who are translating lyrics for songs or watching TV shows and see this thing pop up at the end of a lot of words, like 걸. What does that mean? I thought it means 것을, but sometimes it doesn't seem like it means that here. Well, there's a few different uses of it. So like I said, today we're going to be talking about the 3 major ones, and actually all the 3 that I could think of, 3 different uses of 걸. One of them being what I kind of briefly just talked about, 것을, something thing with an object marker, which could mean literally anything. So you might have, for example, 제가 좋아하는 것, basically meaning 제가 좋아하는 것, I like. So the thing that I like, and then you would talk about the thing that I like. So 제가 좋아하는 것은, for example, 제가 좋아하는 것은 한국어, 김치, whatever you want to say. 영화 보는 거예요. The thing that I like is 김치. The thing that I like is watching movies or Korean or whatever you want to say. Well, all this is 걸, the basic usage, and we're going to talk about more, but this is just the first most basic uses, is the thing that I like. Now we're going to be making it into the object. So, 제가 좋아하는 걸, well, what happened to the thing that I like? I forgot it, I guess. 잊다 means to forget something, as in like forgetting knowledge of something. 잊었었다. I don't want to say 잊었었다. I'll just make it basic. 잊었어요. Okay, so I forgot. 제가 좋아하는 걸, the thing that I like, object. So some action verb is going to be doing something to this thing that I like. I forgot it. So I forgot the thing that I like. It's kind of an awkward sentence, like I forgot the thing that I like, but whatever. I'm just saying that normally the basic usage, this is what I get for not thinking of a sentence in advance. The normal basic usage is simply just thing with the object marker, and that can have any meaning depending on the sentence. So here it means the thing that I like, but with a different sentence, it can mean, the thing I ate or the thing I remembered or whatever it would want to be. Okay, I think we're about ready to start the official lesson now. That was just all the introduction. I ate my favorite thing. Yeah, 제가 좋아하는 음식, right? The food that I like. 제가 좋아하는 것, the thing that I like. Whatever you want to say, it's the same idea. The other thing is, while we're going, I'd also be fine with you guys presenting sentences of uses of 걸 that you're confused about. So because I think that the reason people wanted this topic is because they see a lot of sentences where they don't know what it means. So anyway, let's get started with today's lesson. I already briefly gave the most basic introduction that 걸 is just most of the time, 것을. So you can write that down. If you see 걸, 99% of the time it's just 것을. Really, that's all it is. Sometimes there might not be other things in the sentence. You might not be able to understand every other part of the sentence to know what this means, but the literal or grammatical, both, meaning of 걸 is most of the time just going to be 것을. So I'll give you an example of that. First example would just be 내 거. Now, this means my, 나의. 나의 just gets shortened to 내, meaning I, possessive. So my something. 내 것, my thing. Now this, however, is pronounced as 거. When it's used directly to mean thing, it most often becomes pronounced as 거. So 내 거 is actually pronounced as 내 거. And the same thing goes with 제, as in my, for, 저, for me. 저의, 제, 거. So my thing, 제 거. So if you want to say that's mine, literally you would say that is my thing. 제 거예요. Or if you're speaking casually to a friend, 내 거야, that's mine, 내 거야. So that's just something to keep in mind, is that when you see 내 거 or 제 거, it's actually pronounced as 거, but it's written like this, just 내 거, which kind of looks boring, but that's how it's written. At least that's how it's supposed to be written. You might see people misspell this without a space and like this. It's the same thing, but this is actually wrong, but this is the correct way. Okay, so here's an example then with that. So now we have 내 거, mine. Well, now let's do something to my thing. So this is mine. So 내 걸. So now we have 내 것을, my thing, object marker. 먹지 마. Hey, 내 걸 먹지 마. Don't eat mine. Maybe you have like a tray full of cookies or something, and there's one with the name Billy on it. So you're like, your friend starts going around eating a bunch of cookies. You're like, hey, 야, 내 걸 먹지 마. 내 걸 먹지 마. 내 걸. Here we also pronounced as 걸. 내 걸 먹지 마. So this is 내 것을, my thing, object marker. So eating something. So so something's going to be affected here since it has the object marker. 먹지 마. Don't eat. Don't eat my thing. Don't eat mine is literally what it means. Okay, moving on. So that's the most basic usage. Hopefully you're thinking, oh, I already knew that, because we're going to be doing some more uses of 걸 in a second. The other thing I wanted to say is completely unrelated to the lesson. Does anyone have a VR headset? I'm just curious. I just kind of want to know, like, in general. If you do, join the Discord and maybe mention me or let me know or something. I'm just kind of curious how many of my subscribers have a VR headset, because I was thinking about doing, I'm not sure if I will, I was thinking about what if we did like a VR channel, maybe in like one of the chat apps, and just had like an extra channel for sometimes practicing Korean, kind of like the Discord, but in VR. So let me know what you think. Back to the lesson now. Let's see. Someone you may know. Oh, I'm not sure what that is. Okay. Is there a live stream on the double past thing? Yes, there is. I think I just did it a few weeks ago. There's 2 live streams about past tense. There's one about past tense where I covered about all of those, and another one where I went about when I covered Torah and a couple other forms. Billy, can you sometimes explain historical drama language? If enough people want that, I could. It's not useful, to be honest. You can't use it anywhere. And if you try to use that to Koreans, they'll think you're just cringy. So, but with that said, if enough people wanted to learn historical, I shouldn't say it's not real historical Korean. It's historical drama Korean. It's like simplified. It's not how Koreans actually spoke, but it's kind of like that. Okay. First usage of 걸 we're going to be talking about is how to say something that one, by one I mean like I or you or something like that, did. So first, before I talk about what this means, is here's an example. 내가 본 것은 let's see. What I saw was, and then whatever you saw, maybe you saw 철수. That would be weird. Let me see. You say you saw 영희. What I saw was 영희 kissing Santa Claus. Okay, right. There you go. So what I saw was a funny movie. What I saw was Billy running away. What I saw was a Korean person saying they didn't like kimchi. You know, what I saw was anything like that. So this is why you should know how to conjugate action verbs into adjectives, which is, I did a topic for a previous live stream I already did in detail, because here we already have to use that here. But I'll tell you the basic form. What it is you take a verb and you get the past tense conjugation. So I'll just put past tense adjective conjugation. I should change that here. Okay, past tense adjective conjugation, which will be either adding un after a past tense verb that ends in a consonant, or just adding a nian if it ends in a vowel, and then attaching 것. Then this 것 can sometimes change into 걸 if it's being used as an object. So I'll talk about that next, but first I want to briefly just show you an example of this. 내가 본 것은, what it is that I saw was 내가, I, 본, from 보다, to see, past tense, 본, 것, thing, as for the thing that I saw. 내가 본 것은. So if you were to change this 것, actually you could change this 것 to anything you want. 내가 본 영화, the movie that I saw. 내가 본 사람, the person. 사람은, 내가 본 사람은. So that's the idea. That's with this form. But what this literally means is something that one, so here I, something that I did, what I did was I saw. So something that I saw. 내가 본 것은 something that I saw. And you can change this with any verb. Actually, you can change it with any noun, but let's just use it for 것 here. Let's use this for any verb you want to say something that someone, something that you or I or he or she did. So this is our first example. Let's give one more example. So I'm not going to go into these in too much detail because I already actually covered this in the previous live stream, but it does relate to here. So I'm going to give you one example with 걸 now, using this same form. 빌리가, okay, so Billy's doing something. 빌리가, 제가, so now Billy is doing something and I'm doing something. 제가 만든, so something that I made. So here we have past tense, 만든, 걸, thing, 것을, 만든, 제가 만든 걸. First of all, 제가, I, 만든, made, thing. So a thing that I made, and now we have this 걸 here, so something's happening to it because it has the object marker on it. So what happened to the thing that I made? Well, Billy did something to it. What did Billy do to it? Well, he stole it. 훔쳐갔어요. 훔쳐가다 just means to steal and leave, like run away with it, to take it, took it. He stole it and took it, like that. 빌리가, so Billy did something. 제가 만든 걸, something that I made. Object marker, so something's going to be doing something to what I made. Well, what is happening to what I made? Well, Billy 훔쳐갔어요. Billy stole it. Billy stole something that I made. 빌리가 제가 만든 걸 훔쳐갔어요. Oh, I got a donation. Nice. Let's see who it is. Muku. Muku. Still have that 착한 남자 hat? I always wanted one. Yeah, I still have it, of course. I think you could probably find it. Like, if you're looking for hats in Korea, check out Hongdae. Hongdae has like every single hat, but it always changes. So you might not be able to find this exact same one. 착한 남자. Yeah, sometimes I wear this hat. Yeah, thanks for the donation. I'll give you a dab also with my hat on. Whew. All right. So yeah, so here's an example with 걸 and using the past tense. 빌리가 제가 만든 걸 훔쳐갔어요. So Billy stole something that I did, in this case, something that I made. The next form that we can use with this is very similar. Something that someone does, as in present tense. Now, this one uses the present tense form into an adjective, which we also covered previously, which is the one where you take a verb stem, an action verb stem, and you attach 는, and then you attach 것. So that means a thing that a person does. So something one does. This might not sound like it's too useful. When would I ever want to say like something that I do is, well, I guess sometimes. Well, it's very useful. So let me give you a quick example. Basic example just with 것 first. So 물은 water, 물 is water. 마시다 means to drink. 마시는 거예요. Sorry, I wrote that kind of tight here. Okay, 물은, as for water, well, it's something you drink. It's something I drink. So water is something that you drink. Yeah. If someone asks, what is water? 물이 뭐예요? 물은 뭐예요? What's the water? Well, you could say, 물은 마시는 거예요. And you'll be like, hilarious. But yeah, you can describe anything. You can say it is something that you drink. So, or another example might be pizza. 피자는 먹는 거예요. Pizza is something that you eat. Or maybe a movie is something that you watch. Or, you know, a game is something that you play. You know, however you want to say it, something that you do, you can do it also like this. As for water, it is something, 마시는 거, something that you drink. A thing that drinks. But not, the thing isn't drinking, but it's someone else is doing the drinking, but a thing that is drinking. So that's an example just with 걸 here. But now let's look at an example with 걸, because that's what this lesson's all about. After I do these, there's one more after this. After I do this, I want to get your guys' feedback. So try to think of a sentence using past, present, or future tense with this 걸. Just try to think about it, and I'll ask you to write it down as soon as I finish the next form that we're going to do, because these are pretty quick. Oh, I got another donation. Oh, let me check that first, and then I'll write down the other sentence I have for this. Oh, Ibrahim. Please appreciate Ahimang's comedic genius. What did Ahimang say? Okay, wait. I take him much more seriously. You know, my man got game when he wearing double hats. Yeah, I'm expressing my admiration of Team Fortress 2 right now. I don't know if I have any more. Okay, for every donation, I'm going to do this. For every donation today, I'll wear an extra hat. So the next hat we got is this one. Okay, there you go. So you're at 3 right now. All right. So let me write this sentence first, because I want to make sure we can get through everything today without rushing. I want to make sure we have plenty of time to do feedback too. So 내가 하는 걸. So I doing thing. I'll start with this. 내가 하는 것. A thing that I do. 것을. I'll change this in a second. It's going to be 걸, right? But I'm just going to write it as 것을 so you can easily understand it. 내가 하는 걸, 내가 하는 것을 따라하다 means to copy. Oops, there's not a space here. 따라하지 마세요. Okay, let me just explain this real quick, and then I'm going to react to the donation. Oh dear. Actually, no, let me react to the donation first. Oh yeah, sorry. I got to do this first. That way I don't lose my train of thought. Okay, I got a donation though. Okay, 내가 하는 것을, so a thing that I do, something that I do. Oh, something's affecting. So something's happening to something that I'm doing it, or something's talking about that. So what I'm doing, okay, 따라하다 means to copy, as in to follow. Not just like it's not to make a photocopy or to copy a picture of something. It's to follow, as in like don't copy me, or he's copying that person, or you're just copying that, like that. 따라하다, literally, yeah, 따라하다. So 따라하지 마세요. So don't follow 내가 하는 것, the thing that I do. So don't follow what I'm doing. 내가 하는 것을 내가 하는 걸 따라하지 마세요. Okay, let me write down this donation. $5 donation from Alexis. Nice. Okay. Just make sure I have plenty of room. Okay, so this is something that someone does. I got to put another hat on. Okay, I got another one right here. You probably don't... this is actually my original hat, the original Billy hat. Okay, I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4 right now. Okay. All right. So write this one down. So this is another quick example of how you can use 것을 or 걸. Now we got one more, and then I want you guys to write down an example of your own after I do this last one. So now we're going to work with the future tense. And this is actually kind of a useful one. This is more useful than the other ones. Something to do, as in whatever verb you put down here. Something to do. Now, yeah, like I was saying, in my opinion, this one is actually even a little more useful because it's not just something that you will do. It could mean something that you will do, future tense, but it can also mean, it's also the way that Korean people say something to do, as in, is there anything to do there? Do you have something to do today? I don't have anything to do. I need something to do. I need something to eat. Do you have something to watch? Do you have something to eat? Do you have something to play with? Do you have something to... And then this something would be called, but you could change it to a different person. Sorry, a different thing like a person. You can make it some person to meet, some meeting to attend. Anything like that can come from this form, which is the future tense adjective stem, which ends in after a consonant or lir after a vowel, plus 것. And our first example, we'll just use 것, and then we'll do one with 걸. So first is 내일, tomorrow. 할, just 하다. So for future tense 하다 means future, so something will do. 것이, which can be shortened to K. Just writing 것이 here. 할 것이 없어요. Oops. 내일 할 것이 없어요. 내일 할 게 없어요. So tomorrow, to do, future tense, or I will do, thing. So there is not a thing I will do tomorrow. Literally, 내일, tomorrow, something I will do. 할, future. 것이, a thing. 없어요. There is nothing I will do tomorrow. There's nothing to do tomorrow. Something to do. There is nothing to do tomorrow. So this is how you would say you're not busy, or you don't have anything to do tomorrow. 내일 할 게 없어. I don't have anything to do tomorrow. Okay, now let's do an example with 걸. I actually originally wasn't going to be doing all of these three forms here, but I thought, if you see 걸, a lot of times it really just means 것을, so I think I should cover one of the common uses of 것 as well while I'm at it. So here's another example. 같이 볼 영화. We're going to talk about with a different one, and then we'll switch it to, oops, what am I doing? Then we'll switch it to 걸. 선택하다 just means to choose. So this will be a question. 같이, together, 볼, from 보다, to see. So literally, future tense, you will see, movie. So a movie you will see together, literally. But you can also think of it as meaning naturally, just a natural translation. A movie to watch. Movie to watch. A movie to watch together. So we're going to be doing something with the movie to watch together. 선택하다, to choose. 선택했어요, past tense. Chose, right? Chose is past tense. Yeah. Choose is past tense. Did you choose, oh, I got another donation. 1 second. Did you choose a movie to watch together? Did you choose some movie to watch together? Did you choose a movie to watch together? Okay, so think about this one for a second while I respond to this new donation. Let's see who it is. Let's see who it is. Okay. Danger. Your name is Danger. I thought Danger was your middle name. Thank you, Danger, for the $2 donation. Just trying for another hat here. Okay, let's see if I got another hat. I got a few more hats here. Not a lot, but I do have a few more. Okay. Oh, yes. I definitely have another hat here. Okay. All right, we got the fedora for the ladies. I got to tip it. Okay. So, oops, I just dropped the tablet. Okay, it's fine. All right. So, yes. So 같이 together as an adverb. 볼, something that we will see. What will we see? Well, we'll see a movie. 볼 영화, literally a movie we will, because it's future. see, 를 선택하다, to choose a movie we will see. So literally, did you choose a movie that we will see together? Or, more naturally, did you choose something to watch? Did you choose a movie to watch? Like that. So again, you can change this something from called thing to movie, food, a person, any sort of noun you want. And it means that movie to do that verb. And there's so much opportunity for this, but we don't have time to do it because I want to go on to the main part of the lesson. But before we go on to that, I want you guys to write down a sentence using one of those three tenses. And I'm going to check it out and see how you guys do. So go ahead and write in the chat. I feel like you're a married man. You know the women can't resist. I'm still working on my neck beard though. It's quite fine. You can see it hasn't come in yet. 야, 고양이 먹는 걸 먹지 마세요. Okay? Don't eat the thing that cats eat. So don't eat what cats eat. 고양이가 먹는 걸 먹지 마세요. So don't eat what cats eat. That's correct. Okay, 제가 사준 걸 마음에 드세요? Do you like? Well, typically 그거 마음에 들어? 그게 마음에 들어? Typically, 마음에 들다 is used with an is not used with an object, but it's used with a topic marker or subject marker most often. So you would use it with a e or ka, depending on what it is. Oh, I got another donation. Tater tot. Tater tot, $5 donation. Nice. What does he smell like? I've never smelled him. I guess that means he doesn't smell bad, because if he smelled bad, I've sat right next to him. I've been in his car with him. He doesn't smell bad, so if he did, you can bet I would know. But no, I guess like normal. Okay, I got this. This hat won't go. I got a different hat. This one won't go on. Okay, I got a second fedora. This one's a little more classy. Okay, it's got a black fedora. Okay, there we go. That's for you, Tater Tot. Okay. I wanted crackers. They weren't the right kind. Yeah, you got to get the packaged one. They sell them in a big box, like a blue plastic box that they sell at the Filipino market. Ask them. The plain crackers, they're really good. Get those. And they're individually wrapped, so they don't get like, that's why I like them, because you normally open like the saltines and it's like the mile-long bag, and you got to finish them all within like 3 days before they expire. But these ones are good. Okay. So yeah, write down some of your sentences. Let's see. 제가 좋아한 걸 선택하지 마세요. Don't choose what I like. Okay, don't choose what I liked specifically because you wrote 제가 좋아한, past tense, so something that I liked, but not anymore, probably. You might want to say 제가 좋아하는 걸 because it's something that I like. So then don't pick something that I like. And then you'd be perfect. 제가 싫어하는 걸 일찍 잠이에요. You would want to say 건 because 걸 again is the 것 plus object marker. So if you're using 걸 in that usage, you have to follow it by an action verb. not by describing that. Richard, I just joined. I'm so confused right now. Well, I'm wearing another hat for each donation until I run out of hats. It's the Team Fortress 2 stream today. Making up a fake sentence on the spot is more difficult than you think. Yes. 누나가 예쁜 걸 샀어. 한소라. 한소라. You want to say 사서. 사서. The saw form, the saw ending, and I have a live stream about the saw ending, never uses past tense of the verb. It always is present tense. So if you had 사다, even if it's because I bought, it's still 사서, just like that. The past tense would be in the rest of the sentence. You might say, I didn't have any money if you're talking about the past. Or right now, I don't have the money. But it's assumed you're talking about the past already. 제가 이 모자를 선택했어요. I chose this hat. All right, well, it doesn't use 걸, but fine. Okay, so let's move on then. This is the next one of the main uses of 걸. Now, this is actually, I'd say this is a new uses of 걸. So I haven't taught this in a live stream before, although I do have a video about it. This is a completely different form. This is where you take a future tense conjugation, which will be after the consonant or lir after a vowel, and then you directly attach with no spaces 걸 or 걸, 요. So you might often see this form. Now this is much less common than the previous three that I just showed you, but you might see this one too. It is not 것을. It is not that at all. Completely different form. Just happens to look the same. And this is what I think trips people up is sometimes they see this form. This form is very common in casual conversation. So I should say that this form is only for informal use. Informal use only. You will never use this in a formal situation or when you're trying to be polite, because this form will automatically sound informal. It doesn't automatically sound rude. It doesn't automatically sound casual unless you use it without, oops, I just got ink on my hand. If you use it without the yo, it is casual. But if you use it with the yo, it'll still be, it's still kind of polite, but know that it is not formal. So this is most likely, therefore, used only in colloquial Korean. Colloquial, spoken Korean. You're not going to see this one written down in essays or stuff like that. You might find this in webtoons, cartoon characters will use this. Friends will use this, close acquaintances will use this, but you're not going to be using this in formal situations. So just keep that in mind. This is used to make an assumption. It's used to make an assumption about something, not to state a fact. So this is not used to say that, I am a Korean teacher. It's not used to make an assumption about something's fact. Well, I assume that I am a Korean teacher. That makes zero sense because it would be some fact. I assume that I am American makes no sense because I am American. It's an assumption about something that's not a fact. You just are assuming it's not a well-known fact. So you're never going to say this about something that both you and the speaker already know is true. I just want to say that first. So it's used for assuming something, kind of like saying, I assume. But that's not it, though. That's not quite what this form means. But that's kind of the first thing to keep in mind. The main usage of this form, contradict. It's used for contradicting someone else. It's not a strong contradiction. So you're not saying, no, you're wrong. I assume this. It's not quite like that. It's more like saying, oh, actually, probably. And I think that's why a really good translation for this form is probably. Or contrary to what you might think. So I'm not going to write that on the board because I don't have any space, but contrary to what you might think is a good literal translation of this form. A good natural translation of this form, when you actually need to translate it, is probably. Probably. When you say probably, I mean, you're assuming. You're like, it probably would. I'm assuming it would be, probably. You're also contradicting them by saying probably. Like, no. Probably is okay. He's probably Korean, even though you think he's American. He's probably Korean. He looks Korean. In that sense, I mean probably. Not, he'll probably pass the test because he studied a lot and you think he studied a lot. Yeah, he'll probably pass the test. That's not what I mean. It's not for something that's already assumed by both people. It's you are making an assumption that is contradicting what the other person thinks. So something that you think, but that you think the people listening to you might not think. That's what I mean by contradiction. Like, hey, no. I'm contradicting you guys. Probably something like that. So again, this is not rude at all. It is only informal. So it's never formal, but by saying it's never formal, I'm not saying that it's impolite or rude. Just if you want to be polite, make sure you attach yo at the end. One thing we'll talk about next, but I have to first give you an example, and then there's one more thing I have to talk about because we're not done explaining this form. Let me do this. I got another donation, and then I'll write down my first examples I wanted to show you. Ocean Discovery. Ocean D. Ocean D sounds like Sunny D, like the off-brand Sunny D that you'd get at like the 99 cent market. What's your favorite restaurant in LA Koreatown? Oh. That's tough. I really like, let me get another hat. I really like that Koreatown has a lot of good places for getting meat. So maybe I'd have to pick one of those. Okay, I got a farmer's hat for today. Okay. All right. But I don't think I'd be able to pick just one. There's a cafe I like called Yellow House. I filmed there like 4 or 5 times, and they're pretty nice. So I like that for a cafe, and they have some food. Their food is like okay, but it's not bad at all. So like for the atmosphere, you're paying for the atmosphere. It's really nice atmosphere, so I'll pick them. But I don't really have a favorite general restaurant. Billy should have had the farm hat first. I don't know. I'll see how the hat. I mean, they're still on pretty good, but I'll see how it goes. Okay, so again, you're contradicting what someone else says by assuming something that you think they don't know, or that they don't think so. By that, it can often translate naturally to probably, but if you want to think of a literal translation, contrary to what you might think, that would be a literal translation of the form. So let me give you a quick example. There's still one more thing I have to say about this form, but I'll give you an example first. The first example is, since this is a contrary, you're saying something contradictorily, you're saying something that they don't think. You're saying something that contradicts what the other person thinks. So because of that, you couldn't say something like this. Let's see. 나도 한국어를 잘 할 걸요? Actually, it's na, so you wouldn't be yo anyway. Okay. Oh yeah, so first of all, before I tell you, this sentence is actually wrong, but before I explain the sentence, this is how it's conjugated. So again, future tense conjugation, just like before with future tense. You know, if you said 할 걸 선택했어요, 볼 영화, just the exact same way as a previous future tense adjective conjugation that we just went over, just like that, but with no space. So 할 걸. So if you were to say something like 나도 한국어를 잘 할 걸, like, hey, the sentence is wrong, but if you're like, hey, actually, I probably speak Korean good too. It makes zero sense because one, you're not contradicting what they said. Did they say you can't speak Korean? And then the other thing is, you're not making an assumption about anything. There's no way to assume that you speak Korean well. Like, you already know it. It's already a fact in your head. So there is no assumption. If you're 100% sure already, you don't need to make an assumption about you. You just say, 나도 한국어를 잘해. I am good at Korean too. You don't need to make this, I probably speak Korean well too. It doesn't even make sense in English. I probably speak Korean well too, right? It just sounds weird. Like, obviously you don't because you used it like this. So yeah, just think about that. It's kind of like saying probably. It probably makes sense in English. And if it's an assumption, it's probably okay to use 걸. So this sentence is not okay. That doesn't mean to say you can never use it with yourself, but it means you have to make it something that's a assumption. something that's not something that's obvious. So something you could say about yourself would be like, oh yeah, 저도 그 정도는, so that much, that amount, that extent, literally, 할 수 있을걸요? This is a sentence you could say. So 할 수 있다 meaning I can. So I can do that much too. I can do that. I can do that. I can do at least like that. At least that much I could do. 저도 그 정도는 할 수 있을 거예요. No, like, hey, it's not a fact. I assume I could probably do that much too. 나도 그 정도는 할 수 있을 걸요. I think I could do that much too. Here it's okay to use it because you are making an assumption about something the other person might not know. It's not a fact. And you're saying something like probably, like it might be contradictory to what they're thinking. So they might think like, oh, I don't think he'd be able to do it. Oh, no, 저도 그 정도는 할 수 있을 거예요. I think I could do that. I could probably do that. In that case, this would be totally okay. But I will say this. So I've just illustrated how it could be very awkward to use it about yourself, or how it could be perfectly fine to use it about yourself. If you're not quite sure about whether probably sounds okay or not in the sentence, and you're not sure, so then you're not sure if this would be a good assumption to use it, don't use it about yourself, and you'll be safe. At least you won't sound awkward if you don't use it about yourself. So be careful when you use it about yourself. I'll just say that. Make sure that it makes sense logically, and it's making an assumption, so it's not stating a fact, and it's not and that it's something contradictory to what they think. And then put the word probably in there if it sounds good. Yeah, I could probably do that. Sounds good. You can do it. Say, I probably speak Korean well. Doesn't really make any sense. In like most contexts, that would not make any sense. Maybe you can think of some strange context where that would make sense, but it probably won't sound good. All right, let me check the chat for a second. I haven't looked at the chat in a little bit. Should Billy get a hat that says Ahimang's fan on it? Amariliz, so many donations. Yeah, because I said I'll wear a hat for every donation. So I've gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 donations since I said that. Anyone else want to see how many hats I have? I actually don't know how far I can keep going with this. I might have to like redefine what I call a hat to keep this going. But for a little bit longer, I think I'll be okay. I do have a couple more. I don't even know how I'd wear that one though. Okay, so the other thing I need to say is, oh yeah, let me give you one real example. And then I'll tell you one more thing you have to know about it. So here's one more real example with our good old friend, nice guy, baby eater, 철수. 철수가 할 걸요. 철수가 할 걸요. Okay, so 철수 literally will do it. 철수가 할 걸요. 철수 will do it. I assume, contrary to what you might think, 철수 will probably do it. You know, like, who's going to clean the building tomorrow night? Who's going to clean the building tomorrow night? 철수가 할 걸요. 철수 will do it probably, I assume. Right? It's not a fact. I'm just assuming it. You know, maybe you don't think he will, or maybe you don't know about 철수 doing it. I'm stating this assumption. 철수가 할 걸요. 철수 would do it. Yeah, he'll do it. You know, we'll make him do it. So yeah, that's one example. The other thing I need to mention before we go on is the intonation. So this is a very important part of this form. The intonation is very important. This form will always have a rising intonation on the last syllable in the sentence, as if it's a question. So this is not written with a question mark. 철수가 할 걸요, just written like this, 할 걸요, as a statement. But the intonation on this form, 철수가 할 걸요, 할 걸요, 할 걸요, like a question, kind of like, you know, will he? 철수가 할 걸요? Huh? The reason is because you're making an assumption. You're like, I think 철수 will do it. Kind of like that. So this will have a question intonation at the end, even though it's not a question. And that intonation will be stronger on the very last letter, whether that is 걸, if you're just saying 할 걸, 철수가 할 걸, or whether you're saying 철수가 할 걸요, it'll be on the last letter, one of these two, 걸요 or 걸. So that's how you do it. And the intonation is very important because if you don't do that intonation, 철수가 할 걸요, it sounds awkward. Sounds like really flat, like straightforward. It's always done with this nice upward intonation. 철수가 할 걸요, like I think, to throw in the extra meaning of you're assuming it. You're not making a statement here. If you're making a statement, just use the regular future tense. 철수가 할 거예요. 철수가 할 거예요. 철수 will do it. Or I think 철수 will do it. 철수가 할 거 같아요. 철수가 할 거야. 할 거예요. 할 거 같아. But no, 철수가 할 거예요? Question. So intonation on this is very important. The last syllable, whether that's 걸, if it doesn't end in 요, or 요, if it ends in 요. You got it? Okay, so let's go on. And I was actually already using the intonation when I was giving the examples, but I just didn't explain it. Okay, so let's do another one. Actually, while I write this next one on the board, I want you guys to try to make a sentence with 걸요. So go ahead and try to make your own sentence with 걸요. Write the Korean and the English translation next to it so that I can know what you're trying to say. So here's one more example while you guys are writing that. 해도 될 걸요? 해도 될 걸요? 해도 되다 normally is just a form, this 도, 되다, to mean it is okay, like permission. Giving someone permission, or it's okay to do something. Yeah, it's okay to do it. 해도 돼요. 해도 돼요. Yeah, it's okay if you do that. Yeah, 가도 돼요. You can go. 먹어도 돼요. You can eat it. Yeah, sure. You have permission. But 해도 될 걸요? I think it'll be okay. Yeah, it should be fine. 해도 될 걸요? Like, hey, maybe you're worried about whether it's okay to attend a meeting that you weren't invited to, and you say, 가도 될 걸요? 가도 될 걸요? It should be okay. It probably is okay, I think. Maybe you think it's not. Contrary to what you think, it's okay. Should be. Yeah, I think so. Like that. 해도 될 걸요? So let me see what you guys are doing. Yay. 7-2. I don't know about that. You might have to buy me the hat. Billy, are you hot yet? My head is getting a little heavy. But it's not too bad. Hot Billy's in your area. 사랑할 걸. Nope, our rule. You probably missed the beginning of the lesson where I talked about 걸 means 것을. So now we're doing a different form. 도착할 걸요? Yeah. 경아가 이미 도착할 걸요? I think she's already arriving. 가게 갈 걸요? Yeah, she'll probably go to the store. Okay. Yeah, no, she'll go to the store. Actually, probably she'll go to the store. 매일 한국어 공부할 걸요? Oh, you have the spelling wrong. 할 걸, you wrote 하갈. No, I think you know that, Noah. And you wrote 공부. So you got to slow down on your keyboard. 철수의 남자친구가 아주 잘생겼을 걸. Yeah, 철수's boyfriend. Are you just assuming 철수's gender? 철수의 남자친구가 아주 잘생겼어. So 철수's boyfriend, he's probably really handsome. Yeah, perfect sentence. 다른 모자를 찾을 수 없을 걸요. I don't think Billy will be able to find another hat. Yeah, perfect. Art of Moose. Nice sentence. 아무도 좋을 걸? Yeah, maybe it'll be good. 아무도 좋을 걸? Yeah, maybe they'll like it or that will be good or something like that. Although if you're trying to say an idea would be okay, like, yeah, that sounds okay. Usually you would use 괜찮다, like 괜찮을 걸. I think that'll be okay. Not 좋을 걸. Like 좋을 걸 would be like, I think something would be good. Like if you're already talking about a context of something being good. But if you just want to say, I think that'll be okay, use 괜찮다. 다 먹을 수 있을 걸요? I can probably eat it all. Perfect, Philippe. 화장을 쓰면 제가 더 예쁠 걸? Yeah. Maybe you think I wouldn't, but if I use makeup, I'll be even prettier. Yeah, perfect. 저도 화장을 actually they use 화장을 하다 they use to do makeup. 저도 화장을 하면 더 예쁠 걸? 저도 더 I don't really say, typically you wouldn't say pretty about a guy. I'm just using it here for a joke. But yeah, if I use makeup too, I think I would be more attractive, probably. 김씨 잘걸요? Yeah, I think he'll probably sleep. Perfect. Yeah, you guys are doing great. It's really impressive. You guys are doing really good. 지금 가면 안 늦을걸? Yeah, if you go on, I don't think if you leave now, you won't be late. You probably won't be late now, right? Yeah, perfect. 고양이가 괜찮을걸요? Yeah, I think the cat should be okay, probably. Yeah, but don't worry about it. Perfect. You guys are doing really good. I'm really legitimately impressed. I mean, I wasn't expecting you guys to suck at it, but yeah, you're doing really good. I liked a lot of your examples, and you've clearly shown examples I haven't covered, so that shows understanding of the concept. Oh, I got another donation. Wow, $20 donation, Alexis. Perfect timing too, before when I erase the board. The whole board's empty right now. Alexis Franklin, wow, $20 donation, nice. That could buy me a hat. I don't have a Korean keyboard on my computer, but I won't. Oh, let me see where you wrote it. Alexis, I gotta find your comment. I don't see it. I don't see Alexis's comment. I don't see it, Alexis. I'm sorry. That group will probably win the award on my notebook. Okay. Assume the best. You can take a picture of it, think of it a little bit, look it up in the dictionary, send a picture and tweet my, or hashtag it on Instagram and I'll check it out, or Twitter. All right, let me do another hat for Alexis. Let's see what I got. I got a top hat. This is going to get quite ridiculous now. Okay, there we go. All right, this is a very high hat. So you can't even see me now. This is definitely, now we're definitely in Team Fortress 2 territory here. This is way into the, okay. All right, so let's go on to the next question. I mean, the next example. But yeah, you guys did really good. You have a lot of good example sentences, and I saw some spelling errors, but spelling errors are totally normal. I mean, in general, most of the sentences are unique. Oh, another donation. Trying to exhaust my hat supply. Oh my goodness, I'm like out now. I'm out. Let's see. Okay, Matthew. 모자 더 없으면 셔츠 하나 더 입어주세요. You want me to get heat stroke? I have another hat though, but I appreciate the concern. Okay, let's go for a traditional one. I wanted to wear this one earlier, but it was too small. So let's represent my YouTube channel. So I got the YouTube space. I got this one in 2016. I won a YouTuber contest where they selected some new YouTubers. Ahimong, this is for the Instagram page, I guess. They selected some YouTubers to give them training to make better videos, and that was 2016. And then they gave everyone a $2,000 gift card to buy supplies. So I think that's why I bought my editing computer with, and a couple lights that I didn't even have. So yeah, and then I also got the hat as part of that. Okay, so here's another example. So maybe you're gonna eat some kimchi, and the person tells you, here, why don't you try it? It's really spicy, and you look at it, you're like, 별로? So not that much. 별로 is used only with, if you write down 별로, if you don't already know it, 별로 is an adverb that's only used with negatives. It's only used with negative verbs. So you're never gonna see 별로 좋아요 or 별로 something like that. It's always 별로예요, like it is so-so, or 별로 negative something. So here, 맵다, to be spicy. So not very is what it means. So specifically, not very with negatives. So 별로 안 매울걸? I assume not very spicy. 별로 안 매울걸? Hey, 별로 안 매울걸? And you take a bite, burns your mouth, or maybe it's not, whatever. It's your assumption. So no, contrary to what you might think, it's not spicy. It's probably not spicy. Hey, 별로 안 매울걸? You could also maybe translate this one as, I don't think it'll be spicy, right? Any way you want to translate it, just know that literally, contrary to what you might think, it's not going to be spicy. More naturally, probably, I'm assuming it's probably not going to be that spicy. Let's do another sentence. This hat's getting quite large. I will definitely admit that. Okay. 그 집은, so you see like a building or house. 그 집은 원래. 원래 is a super useful adverb that means originally. So if you want to say originally, anything. Originally, 원래. 식당이었을걸요. Oops. So this is if you're using it with the 이다 for to be in the past tense. So 이다 normally to be present, but 이었어요 past tense. You know, 이었어요. But normally 이었어요 just comes from 이었다. 이었다 would be the stem, the full version of it. That changes to 이었어요, past tense. Like 빌리는 선생님이었어요. Billy was a teacher, if I wasn't a teacher. Then if you just take that, then you attach sir like that, and you get this. So it's not like, I know it might look complicated if you've never seen it. I'm just explaining where it comes from. It's just 이다 to be present tense, but in the past tense, 이었어요, which actually is just 이었다. So 이었을걸요. 그 집은, that house or that place, that store, they use 집 for stores as well as houses, homes, like small buildings, stuff like that. 그 집은 원래 식당이었을걸요. That house, that place was originally a restaurant, or that church. Here's one you might be able to relate with. 교회 is church. I think that actually I don't know how they spell Pizza Hut in Korean. Let me check real quick. I always see they always have the English type. Yeah, that's right. Pizza Hut. Okay, I was guessing. 그 교회는, so that church was originally a Pizza Hut. 그 교회는 원래 피자헛이었을 거예요. I think that church was probably originally a Pizza Hut. So that's what you can say. You see the shape of it. It's got like that upside down V and the two glass doors in the front. So there's a lot of churches that were repurposed from Pizza Hut. So you might say 그 교회는, that church, 원래 originally Pizza Hut이었을걸요. I'm assuming that building was probably a Pizza Hut before it was a church. So there you go. Now you have a natural sentence. Okay, one more audience chance. I want you guys to make another sentence using 걸요 while I write down the next example I have for you. Because I want to do a lot of examples, but I also don't want to waste your time. So that's why I'm kind of doing it consecutively. While we're learning about this, I'm also giving you examples. So go ahead and make another example. 빌리가 한국어 선생님, I don't have enough room. I'm just going to go down here. 일걸요. So here we have 일걸요, which comes from 이다, just to be. 이에요, 입니다. Same thing. 이에요, 예요, 예요. 입니다. All that's the same thing. So just 이다 normally becomes 일걸요. So Billy is a Korean teacher, I assume. 빌리가 한국어 선생님일걸요. Contrary to what you might think, Billy's probably a Korean teacher. So maybe you're talking with a friend and you don't know me, and they're looking at Billy, they're looking at me, they're like, what's that guy do? 빌리가 한국어 선생님일걸요? I think he's a Korean teacher. I assume. Well, he probably is a Korean teacher. That's what you can say. So now let's take a look at your examples. I'll leave this one up for a sec. Okay. Don't worry about not being able to donate. Watching like, yeah. Some people might be, I've seen some people apologize for not donating. You don't have to apologize. It's if you don't have extra money, don't feel bad about donating. In fact, don't feel bad about donating even if you're rich. If you're watching Elon Musk, don't feel bad about donating. You don't need to donate just because you have money. It's just people who want to support me. Contrary to what you might think, Billy doesn't always wear this many hats. Yeah, that's good. 먹자 밥을 정말 맛있어. 진짜 what is that? I'm not sure what you're talking about. 빌리 씨한테는 you wrote 얘기, but okay. 한국어가 쉬울걸. So yeah, I think Korean's probably easy to Billy. our rule, Vanny. Nice sentence. It's incorrect, but you're fine to assume that Korean is still difficult. Explaining Korean is difficult to Koreans as well. So, and speaking Korean is different than explaining Korean. So I know a lot of people who speak Korean very well, but it's different from the pool of people I know who can explain Korean. 전생에 한국인이었을 거예요. I think Billy, in a previous life, Billy was a Korean. Okay, fair enough. 우리 친구가 춤을 추다. Abby, they say 춤을 추다. So 추다, just like 춤, without the 미음, without the box letter at the bottom. 춤을 출걸요? Other than that, yeah. 내 새 차는 그 기능이 있을걸. My new car will have that feature. Okay, it's quite a literal translation, but yeah, my new car will have that feature. Maybe you're talking about like the ludicrous mode, the ludicrous speed mode like Teslas have. So you say, 내 새 차도 내가 차를 새로 살 때 내 차에도 그 기능 있을걸. When I buy a new car, I think it'll have that feature too. 영어를 정말 잘하네요. 유학했을걸요? I think they would have done a study abroad. They would have been a exchange student. They would have done an exchange program. Okay. 여기 사람 없을걸? Okay. I don't think there's anyone here. So if you go into a PUBG, what do you call it? Player Unknown Battlegrounds game, and everyone's playing terribly, then you might be able to say, 여기 사람 없을걸? Maybe there's no one here. Or you might say 잘하는 사람, a person who's good at the game. 여기 잘하는 사람 없을걸? Like, hey, I don't think there's anyone good here. Like, don't worry, it's all noobs. Kind of like that. 레슨 너무 재밌을걸요? Okay, well that would be making an assumption about it. But in this case, you're already watching the lesson, so you can no longer make an assumption if the lesson's going to be fun. But you could say that sentence, Noah, if you say it before the lesson starts. So yeah, 이 lesson 너무 재밌을걸요. I think this you wrote 누무, but typo, just nomu. You could make that assumption before the lesson starts. So I think this lesson's probably going to be really fun. But once it's already started, now you can no longer make an assumption about it. Elon Musk, or Jeff Bezos, or Bill Gates, if one of you guys are watching, if you're my fan, you don't have to feel bad. Don't worry about it. I don't really care. I'm not gonna guilt trip you guys. You guys have enough money as it is. 한국어를 아니겠죠? Amelia, I think you might have missed most of the lesson before, but don't worry about that. Just go back after this lesson finishes. You can watch the whole thing again because I explained how to conjugate it earlier. 클라라 씨 친구일걸요? Probably Clara's friend. Clara, I think she's been like one of the people on SNL in Korea. 사람 클라라 씨 친구일걸요? I think that person will be Clara's friend. Yeah, perfect. Are these traditional Korean hats? You betcha. This is from the 1800s. This is the traditional hat from the 1600s and the 1700s right here. And this is the hat that King Sejong he wore a fedora. 오늘 학교 안 갈 거예요? Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to go to school today, I assume. So that wouldn't be like, you're not going to tell your friend, I'm not going to go to school today by saying that. But maybe your friends assuming you're going to go to school and you think you probably won't. Like maybe for some reason, maybe you don't think you're going to go to school because you predict something bad is going to happen. Then you could say that sentence or to go wherever. Like, I don't think we're going to go to the movie today, because my mom's still sleeping. She's not going to drive us. 오늘 안 갈걸? Like that. Then you can say it. I just want to make sure that you understand that using this form is for an assumption. So you have to be assuming something. It can't be something that you're already sure about. Okay, let's do a couple more. So I want to do plenty of detail so you guys really will get this form. 이미, already. Now this isn't said when you're like, already? That would be 벌써. I'll put an exclamation. This one's like already. Like already done. It's already finished. You're already doing it like that. That's already. This is 이미 just already. Like it's already happened. 이미. 늦다 is to be late. Now 늦다 is actually used in the past tense. So 늦었을. So we have 늦었 past tense. 걸요. 이미 늦었을걸요. You're probably late already. So I think you're probably late already. Someone gave a good example sentence where they said you're not going to be late, and that's fine too. Like here's one. 이미 늦었을걸요? So someone's like getting dressed and like, oh no, I gotta leave 5 minutes before my class starts. You say, 이미 늦었을걸요? You're already gonna be late. Like actually, despite what you think, contrary to what you think, you're probably gonna be late, okay? Like you think you might get there in time. No, it's 5 minutes before it starts. It takes you 10 minutes to drive there. 이미 늦었을걸요? So you can use it like that. Let's do another example sentence. Like I said, this time I really want to make sure you get this because this is a super useful form, whether you use it yourself or not. And you might not use it that much, but when you do use it, it's really useful to have. So let's do another sentence with 찰수. 찰수도 내일 한국에 갈걸요? 갈걸요? Yeah, 찰수도 내일 한국에 갈걸요? So maybe your friend's like saying, your friend comes and says, bye everyone, I'm going to Korea tomorrow. Or I'm going to Korea next week. I'll see you guys later. And you're standing next to 찰수. You're like, 찰수도 내일 한국에 갈걸요? Like, hey, I think 찰수's going to Korea tomorrow too. And then your friend starts panicking. He's like, oh no, I don't want to see 찰수 in Korea or whatever. But no, I'm assuming 찰수 is going to Korea tomorrow too. 찰수도 갈걸요? 가다, 갈걸요. And notice the intonation at the end. 갈걸요. It always goes up. So don't just say 갈걸요. 갈걸요. Always up like a question. And last example. 엄청. It means like extremely, or like a ton, or a lot. What is that? Anyway, whatever, a ton. 엄청, a ton, a lot. Or really, you can think of it as really. 엄청 예쁠걸? She's probably really pretty. So maybe you know 찰수 is trying to date a really hot Korean girl. And 찰수 is super picky. He's like the most picky of all your friends you have, all your guy friends. 찰수 is. So you hear, so your friend tells you, hey, did you hear that 찰수 got a girlfriend? 찰수 looks so strange. His girlfriend's probably strange too, like him. And you say, 엄청 예쁠걸? Like, nah, like, I know 찰수. Contrary to what you might think, she's probably super pretty. 엄청 예쁠걸, because 찰수 would never pick someone who's not really pretty. So this is another example. 엄청 예쁠걸? I think she's probably really pretty. You're making an assumption. You're assuming, I assume she's super pretty. From 예쁘다, to be pretty, future tense, 걸. I'm really running out of hats here now. Okay, so we're doing good on time. We got the next form to go over. I would ask you guys to make another sentence, but both the times I did, you guys really impressed me. So let's go to the next form. This is more of a upper intermediate form. Yeah, this is an upper intermediate form. So if you're still a beginner, don't worry about this form. You can follow along, but don't stress if you don't get it. So 걸 그랬다 comes after the verb stem. Oh, sorry. I don't need to explain this again. It works the same way as the previous one. So you'll still have like 할 걸, exact same conjugation. Just now you end the sentence with 그랬다 afterward. This is a different meaning. This is a completely different meaning than 걸요 that we just did. So for this one, a few things is 그랬다 at the end can be conjugated. You can leave it as like 할 걸 그랬다 if you want, or you can conjugate it. You can say 그랬어, 그랬어요, anything like that. 그랬나, anything. Any sort of conjugation you want is free game, fair game. Well, let me have some more caffeine. Okay. I see we lost like 50 people since we started. So maybe the second part of the lesson that we did was too hard, or maybe I didn't have enough hats. Okay, the other thing I need to say is that this usage is only informal. Again, you will never use this one if you're trying to be formal or very polite. So it's just for casual or for regular day-to-day conversation. So you can still be polite, 그랬어요, but it will never be formal or very polite. It's always informal, colloquial form. So the other thing I need to say is that the 그랬다 form at the end, adding this 그랬다 at the end, is completely optional. So if you wanted to say 할 걸 그랬다, 할 걸 그랬어, whatever, you could also just say 할 걸. Also notice the intonation, 할 걸. There is no, it doesn't go up, it's not a question, 할 걸. So if you hear 할 걸, it means the previous one we did, contrary to what you might think. And if you hear 할 걸, without that intonation, it means this. That's why the intonation is really important. Because if you use the wrong intonation, people might think you're saying this form, because the conjugation is the exact same. And if you don't use 그랬다 at the end, it really looks exactly like the same thing. However, if you're using this form, you would never then add 할 걸요 at the end. It's totally different. So this would either be just 할 걸 or 할 걸 그랬다, some sort of conjugation. So you would never, if you ever did 할 걸요, it's not this form anymore. It's just the previous form. I want to make sure that's clear. So yes, this 그랬다 is optional. And what this form means, so I haven't even told you what it means. This means should have. I should have. Specifically, I should have done something. So if you use this with 하다, I should have done it. If you use this with 가다, to go, I should have gone. If you use this with think, it's I should have thought. See, I should have saw. I should have seen. English is hard. So yeah, I should have. And I actually covered this one as well as the next form we're going to learn. I covered these already in the live stream about how to say should and should not, but I only briefly covered them. So because I only briefly covered them, today we'll actually use all brand new sentences. So if you already watched that, don't feel like we're getting a rerun today. These are going to be all new sentences, and it's more in-depth than we went into the previous lesson. So again, just for a quick summary, 그랬다 is optional. This means I should have. Never you should have, or he should have, or she should have. We'll talk about that in a second. So I should have done something. And you can conjugate this 그랬다 or leave it. And then it's only in formal use. So there, that's all we need to know about it. So let's give some examples. Okay. Yesterday, computer. Oh, actually, let's do 그 computer. That computer. 를 살 걸 그랬어. Okay. If you just saw 살 걸, 그 컴퓨터를 살 걸, it could also mean, if you have the rising intonation, it could mean, oh, I think he'll buy that computer. He'll probably buy that computer. But because we're using it without that intonation and with 그랬어 at the end, it means I should have. So it's completely different than the previous form. Yesterday, that computer should have bought. 어제 그 컴퓨터를 살 걸 그랬어. I should have bought that computer yesterday. They had a special deal. It was 50% off, and I was thinking about it too long, and now the price went back up. 진짜 어제 그 컴퓨터를 살 걸 그랬어. I should have bought that computer yesterday. That's exactly what this form is used. So, I should have done something. I don't need to say 나는 at the beginning, because this form only means me. If you were to look at your friend and say, 어제 그 컴퓨터를 살 걸 그랬어. Then you would typically would not mean you. So we'll talk about that in a little bit as an extra advanced note at the end. But this only means I. I should have done something. In this case, I should have bought that computer yesterday. Let's do one more example, and then I want you guys to start thinking of your own example sentence with this form. So maybe you walk outside. Okay, so start thinking of your own example sentences and writing those down. Just don't hit submit yet. I'm going to write this one first. 우산을, so umbrella. This is just 우산을 가져올 걸. 우산을 가져올 걸. I should have brought an umbrella. 우산을 가져올 걸. I should have brought an umbrella. 가져오다 means to bring. So 가져올. Just put a note here. 걸. I should have brought an umbrella because you walk outside and it starts raining and you look up, you're like, 우산을 가져올 걸. I should have brought an umbrella. Dang it. Why did I do this? I should have brought an umbrella. Okay, so go ahead and write your own sentences down. I'll leave this one up for a second. Go ahead and write your own sentences down and I'll check them out before we move on to some more sentences. And as always, there's usually a few extra sentences on the outline that I won't do during the live stream, just depending on how much time we have. 더 따뜻한 양말을 Ameriliz, 양말을, do you say 입다 with 양말 or do you say a different verb with 양말? It's the same verb you use for wearing shoes. Other than that, perfect. 한국어 더 공부할 걸 그랬어. Perfect, Noah Deeps. I should have studied more Korean. 찰스와 앤디가 액션 영화 보러 갔는데 재밌나 보네. 재밌었나 보네 if you want to talk about past tense. But the past tense will be used in the verb and not in 보다 at the end for J-Rose. 갈 걸 그랬어. The rest of your sentence is perfect. 나도 갈 걸 그랬어. I should have gone too. 그 수업을 받았을 걸 그랬다. I should have gotten that class. 시험이 엄청 힘들었어요. The test was super hard. 숙제를 끝낼 걸 그랬어. Farabee, I think you're trying to say I should have finished my homework, in which case you use 끝내다. So 끝, just like the syllable you have is perfect. But then instead of 할 걸, it's 내다. So 내, 끝낼 걸, like that. That's right, 신다. So you'd say 신을 걸. Perfect. 양말을 신을 걸. I should have worn socks. I should have worn warmer socks. 선배를 인사하다. What are you trying to say? You're trying to say introduce yourself or say hi to your 선배? Are you trying to say that? In which case you would need to say to, not the object marker. 더 많이 할 걸 그랬어요. I should have practiced more. Perfect, skit 42. 다음에 어떤 수업을 할 거니? Okay, that's not related to what we're learning about right now. But 어제 집 갈 걸 그랬어. I should have gone home yesterday. Okay? 오늘 Aisha, I'm not sure what you're trying to say, Aisha. I think you might have just had a typo there. Try it again. I'll read it. Someone asked, can pre-1134, can you use it in a negative form? Yes, you can use it in a negative form. Let's see what you wrote. 어젯밤에 초밥을 먹지 않을 걸. If you're using it in a negative form, I'll show you that. To use this in a negative form, it's not used with the 지 않다. It's actually used with the negative command form, which is 지 말다. If you're using it in negatives. So instead of saying like 말하지 않을 걸, you say 말하지. Oh, sorry, actually we're not doing that yet. This should have been the. Oh yeah. 말하지 말 걸. Put that there. Okay, so 말하다 meaning to say. So 말하지 말다 means to not say. So or literally if you say 말하지 마, it means don't say. But when it's used with this form in the negative, you use it with 말다. So 말하지 말 걸. I should not have said that. Like maybe you tell your best friend, you're like, hey, have you seen Youngie? Like, oh, Youngie, she's so pretty. Oh, I like Youngie. I want to date Youngie. And then your friend goes and says, hey, Youngie, Billy over here likes you. You say, 말하지 말 걸. I shouldn't have said that. I know you would just do that. Something like that. So, I shouldn't have said that. Or just 하지 말 걸. I should not have done that. 하지 말 걸. I should not have gone. 가지 말 걸. I shouldn't have. 그냥 오지 말 걸. I shouldn't have come here. Maybe you go to a party and there's like 1 million people and your friends are ignoring you. You say, 그냥 오지 말 걸. I should not have come. It was a waste of my time. I should not 오지 말 걸. So that's how you use should not have with a negative verb. Okay, let's see these sentences here. 식품점. Well, you could typically just say 식당 if you're talking about a restaurant. 먹지 말 걸 그래서 I should not have eaten the kimchi. Maybe it was like really old kimchi, like 10 years old. Then yes, you should not have eaten the kimchi. But I've had kimchi like 3 years old and it still tasted good. Kimchi lasts, if it's properly stored. Kimchi, I could do like a whole live stream about kimchi. It's like cool. But kimchi, if properly stored, you can eat it in different ways for like well up to a year and beyond, depending on how it's stored. When it's new and cut like into small squares, that doesn't last as long, maybe just like, 6 months to a year or something. But when it's kept as a whole, it doesn't go bad as quickly and it can last much longer. Really fresh kimchi is eaten together when people have like bossam in Korea and stuff like that. And then slightly older kimchi, but still pretty fresh, is used as like a regular staple side dish. And then when the kimchi gets really old and it no longer tastes really good to eat, it starts tasting a little bit like sour or like has like doesn't have like a crunchy, that crispy flavor anymore. That's when they use it in soups. So it stays delicious through its whole lifetime. Kind of like bananas, when they get brown, you use them for banana bread and taste better that way. Kimchi is kind of the same thing. Okay, I'm talking about kimchi too much. Okay, next sentence. Okay. You can also use it in questions. If you conjugate the ending into a question, well, you don't have to use 그랬나, but you could just say 그랬어. But here we're going to say 그랬나 because it's showing more curiosity. 나도 갈 걸 그랬나? Should I have gone to? So instead of just saying I should have gone to, 나도 갈 걸 그랬어. Now you're asking a question. 나도 갈 걸 그랬나? Should I have gone? So this form is quite versatile. You can use it in not just statements, but also questions. 나도 갈 걸 그랬나? Should I have gone to? I heard that Psy came to the party and he performed Gangnam Style. 나도 갈 걸 그랬나? Should I have gone? Maybe I should have gone. Like that. Next sentence. And this is actually our last sentence for this form. Oh, actually, this is a sentence that Noah kind of gave already, but a little bit longer. 내가 한국에서 살았을 때. So the time that I lived in Korea, 내가 한국에서 살았을 때, when I lived in Korea. I also have a live stream about how to use this 때, if you're curious. 한국어를 더 열심히. So 더 열심히 is like hard, to study hard. So harder. 공부할 걸 그랬어. Okay. I 한국에서 in Korea 살았을 때, when I lived in Korea, 한국어 Korean 더 열심히 harder study harder 더 열심히 공부할 걸 그랬어. 내가 한국에서 살았을 때 한국어를 더 열심히 공부할 걸 그랬어. I'm sure a lot of people have this regret when they go to Korea to teach English and then they come back after 2 or 3 years or so. Like I did that too. And then when you get back to the States or back to your home country and you're like, 한국에서 살았을 때 한국어를 더 열심히 공부할 걸 그랬어. I should have studied Korean harder when I was living in Korea, because now I'm not in Korea more and now it's harder to study Korean. I should have studied Korean harder when I was in Korea. So that's another way that you can use it. All right, let me just check the chat for a moment and then we will move on. Let's see. 사랑에 빠지지 말걸. I just read Tiffany's sentence up there. 마음이 아파. Not 아파. It's not 아프다. It's 아프다. So it's 아파. or 아파 should be 아파요. 마음이 아파요. Other than that, the sentence is perfect. I should not have fallen in love. It hurts. Pausing live, anything is against the law. I can't pause this live stream. What I can do is, there is a button. Oh yeah, if you're watching anyone's live stream and suddenly an ad starts playing, that's because the people running the live stream, there's a little button I can push that says play ad. So if I suddenly thought I wanted another 10 cents from you guys, I mean, it probably would only result in 10 cents, but I could press the play ad button and everyone has to watch an ad. I'm not going to do that though. I've never done that before. 이건 먹을 걸 그랬나? 나도 이걸. Well, it could be 이건, but probably would be 이걸 most of the time. 먹을 걸 그랬나? Should I have eaten this? You know, maybe your friend offers you some strange looking food and you didn't want to eat it. And then everyone else is eating it and they're like, oh, it's so good. You're like, oh, 나도 먹을 걸 그랬나? Should I have eaten it too? You're kind of talking to yourself. 나도 먹을 걸? 나도 먹을 걸 그랬나? Should I have eaten it too? Maybe everyone else seems to be enjoying it. Maybe I should have eaten it too. It would result in people leaving. Yeah, I wouldn't do it. What is the ad? No, it would just be some random, whatever ad YouTube would normally show to people. Yeah, I'm just letting you guys know that if you see videos that have, same thing with the ad breaks. If you see a bunch of ad breaks in the video, that's not YouTube. Don't blame YouTube for that. Don't get mad at, I mean, there are legitimate reasons to get mad at YouTube in this day and age, but that's not one of them. That is, unless the person was using copyrighted material and therefore lost monetization control of their video. Most of the time it's not. Unless that happened and they had a company claimed their video. For regular videos, if there are many ad breaks, it's because we creators add those ad breaks and we can choose if we want to have an ad at the beginning of the video or the end of the video or in the video. If the video is over 10 minutes, which is why you'll often see videos 10 minutes and 1 second or something. If the video is over 10 minutes, then you have the option to put multiple ads in the video. If it's shorter than 10 minutes, you can only have an ad at the beginning. But creators with long videos, like an hour-long video, they'll put lots of ad breaks in the video. And YouTube will choose where to put them, but putting lots of them is the creator's choice. So that's not something that YouTube does by itself. It's something we have to enable. So maybe that's on default uploads. I know this is totally getting off topic. I'm just letting you guys know. If you watch my live stream videos, they're 2 hours or longer, and you'll never see a bunch of ads through the video. There's only one at the beginning. Some videos I might stick one at the end after it finishes playing, but I've only done that I think on 3 or 4 videos. So just so you know how YouTube works. Okay, let's do our last form for today. This is verb stem, action verb stem. So this is, I don't know why I was writing. Okay. Action verb stem plus, and then G 그랬다. This one's for saying you, not I. So if you said something with this form, it means you should have done something. There are some differences though. For this one, the 그랬다 is not optional. This is required. You must use 그랬다 and conjugate it somehow. You could just say 그랬다 if you're speaking casually in plain form, or 그랬어요 or something like that. But it's always for you. Another thing is this is also only for informal usage. So you would not use this in a formal situation. But everything else works the same. So now you can say you should not have said that. You should not have gone. You should do that. You should have eaten it. Like that. Try to make your own sentence. I'm going to write one on the board right here. But go ahead and try to write your own sentence in the chat. I'll write one up here while you're doing that. And again, if you want to use negatives, it works the same way with 지 말다, just like before. So you don't have to learn a whole new system, except just know that this is no longer optional. That's all you have to learn. Oh, and the conjugation. It's not the future tense conjugation. It's simply the action verb stem plus G. Whereas the previous one, 하다, would become 할, 걸. This one, 하다, just becomes 하지. So it's the different conjugation. Although I'd say this is a little bit easier conjugation. But yeah, and make sure it's an action verb stem. So it's not going to be Well, same with the previous one too. You're not going to say you should not have funny, you should not have pretty. That doesn't make sense. It has to be an action verb. But yeah, just notice the conjugation difference, and 그랬다 is no longer optional. 그거 말하지 말지 그랬어. So now instead of 말하지 말 걸 그랬어, I should not have said it. Now we have 말하지 말지 그랬어. So you should not have said that. Now it just so happens that 말다 becomes 말 걸 and 말지. It's really easy to conjugate. That's just due to this letter at the bottom. It's not because their conjugation is the same. They, like I said, the conjugation works differently. But in this case, since it ends with this letter anyway, you don't notice any difference just by looking at it. So 말하지 말지 그랬어. You should not have said that. Not never. I should not have said that. If you were to say 내가 그거 말하지 말지 그랬어, it sounds very awkward because 지 그랬어 is used for you, the person that you're talking with. You should not have said that. 말하지 말지 그랬어. Or you should not have done that. 그거 하지 말지 그랬어. You should not have done that. I can't believe you've done this. So let me check out the chat for a second, see how you guys are doing. Yeah, mid-roll ads, those are all decided by the creator. Even the first ad, but like I totally understand, you know, everyone's different. Like if I were to put mid-roll ads and stuff like that, I would make a lot more money on my videos, to be honest. But I want you guys, I like it that people choose to give me money. I don't like that I take your money for doing YouTube. I think like YouTube works already as pretty good advertising for my book series and other things. So I don't think I have to even do that. I wouldn't want to do it either. 새로운 아이패드, not iPad, 아이패드를 사지 그랬다. You should have bought a new iPad. So other than, spelling of iPad, you should have bought a new iPad. 고양이를 던지지 말지. You should not have thrown the cat. Yes, you should not have thrown the cat. 고양이를 던지지 말지 그랬어. I can't believe you threw the cat. Oh, I got another donation. 에희망. Oh, 에희망. I think I've seen that name before. Have you been in my chat? Have you donated before? Let's see. Do you have any more mojas? Yeah, I got one more here. It's a what do you call this kind of hat? Oh my gosh. Like we're reaching the maximum hat allowance for this beret. Is this a beret? I think it's a beret, right? Okay, yeah, it's a beret. There we go. It's not a raspberry beret. I've got a black beret. Okay, let's see what other sentences we got. The hats from donations. Yes, so I'm trying to be, today we're wearing hats. But I can only do this once. 거미를 만지지 말지 그랬어. You should not have touched the spider. 모자를 더 사지. Suna wrote 살지, but remember it's not conjugated that way. It's only conjugated like this. So you would just say 사지. You should have bought more hats. If you just correct 살지 to 사지, your sentence is perfect. You should not have touched the spider. Abby, you wrote 왔지, but it's only past tense. It's only the regular verb stem. You should have came. 오지 그랬어. You should have came. It's not saying you should do something, but you should have done something. So the past tense is already conveyed in this 그랬다, which is past tense in itself. So the verb that goes before here is just regular verb stem, nothing fancy. Dab in the beret. Okay, I'll dab for a I guess I'll dab for your donation too. Okay. You got to see all the hats. So I'll dab like that. Okay. Oh yeah, someone else commented that. 오지. Okay. 먹지 말지 그랬어요. 음식이 나빠졌어? The food got bad if you say that, but I don't think that's what you sound. I think you want to say it's not good or it doesn't taste good, like 맛이 없어요, like it doesn't taste good or something like that. Okay, let's do another example. So this is only an example of don't do something, but I want to give you some examples of how you say do something. So with our previous example of an umbrella, so we have 우산, umbrella, 우산을 가져오다 to bring. So 가져오지 그랬어요. I'll put yo in there. Oops, there's no question mark. Okay, you're talking to an acquaintance, and they're like, "Oh, it's raining," and you say, "Ha ha ha, 우산을 가져오지 그랬어요." You should have brought an umbrella. You. If it was me, it would be 가져올 걸. 가져올 걸. 가져올 걸 그랬어요. I, 올 걸. But since it's you, 오지. So notice you can take the exact same sentence and just switch around 걸 to G and the conjugation. And then you can say, I should have done something. 우산을 가져올 걸 그랬어. Or just 가져올 걸. Or you, 우산을 가져오지 그랬어요. You should have brought an umbrella. I'll leave this up for a second. My goodness, Ahimong is like 90% of the chat right now. Although I admit I'm out of hats, so I don't know what I would do if I were to get any other donations. I'd have to like scour my closet to see if I have another one in there somewhere. Anyway, or use something else. Okay, let's do one more sentence because I want to make sure you guys really get how to use this form. So one more example. With studying, you should have studied harder. So 열심히, 더 열심히 means harder, as in like to work harder, to study harder. So we have 공부하지 그랬어. So your friend goes and tells you, I failed my test, and you're going to be a jerk today. So you're going to tell him, 더 열심히 공부하지 그랬어. You should have studied harder. Anything like that. Uh-oh, I got another donation. Who's this? Matthew. Let's find out. Another one for Matthew. Goes here again. All right. Give me a second. Let me check my closet. I pulled out some, but I don't think I have any more. Do I have any more hats here? Oh, I have another hat. I thought I was out of hats, but then I remembered. I think this might be the last hat because if I put any more hats on top, not only will this thing just like fall off onto the ground, but this hat will also get crushed. I have to wear it like sideways because the beret is like shaped all funny. Okay, it's like a Burger King crown, I think. Something like that. It's not Burger King, but anyway. Should be good. Okay. I can't even get all these in the frame. These don't. I have to stand like this, so they're all in the frame. So I'll trust Ahimong to put that up on the fan page, the Instagram. Actually, let me put it down here. That way I can. It doesn't even fit. My hats are too fat. Can't even put it on. Okay, there we go. I got it. Okay, there you go. Okay, I have to stand like this to get them even all in the frame, like an Egyptian or something like that. Okay. All right. Put it on the brim. Yeah, that's what I had to do. I had to put it on the brim. Okay, so we got all my hats. Thank you to everyone for the donations. So that's all the sentences we have for this. There's one more thing I wanted to mention before we finish today's lesson for advanced speakers. So I said that 걸 그랬다 is only used for I and 지 그랬다 is only used for you. There are cases when you might hear 걸 그랬다 used with you should have done something. For example, 너도 하지 너도. Normally you would say 너도 하지 그랬어. So you should have done it too. 너도 하지 그랬어. You could also say 너도 할 걸 그랬어. However, one thing I have to state about this, actually a couple things. If you're using 걸 그랬다 to mean you, 그랬다 is no longer optional. It must be used. Whereas if you're saying, if you were to say 너도 할 걸, it's wrong. It just sounds so wrong. 할 걸 그랬어 could be acceptable. The other thing I want to say is that most of the time, if you use 걸 with 그랬다, the listener is assuming you're talking about yourself because it's kind of used for making a statement of something that you believe. Like you're regretting, you're feeling you should have done it. If you were to use it about someone else, a lot of times, and sometimes people will do this, a lot of times it'll sound unnatural. So it'll sound like someone messed up, but it's kind of acceptable in Korean as well. So you might hear this from time to time where someone will say 걸 그랬다 when they're talking about you, in which case they would say your name first, like 빌리가, 너, something like that, or 그쪽, whatever they want to say for you. They'll make it clear who they're talking about. It's not common. I'll say that. You don't have to be prepared for this because it's not common. And you might see, again, this is not optional. And the other thing I want to say is that 지 그랬다 can never be used for yourself. So if you see 지 그랬다, it's always you. It cannot be used backward this way to mean I. So this is only an exception with 걸 그랬다, only when it's used with 그랬다, and still it's not that common, and it can sound really awkward. And if you don't state who it is, it will sound 100% like you're talking about yourself. So be aware that it exists, but don't stress about it. Most of the time it will sound awkward when you make a sentence like this. So what do if you want to say, now he or she should have done something, because now we've talked about how to say 걸 그랬다, for I, and 지 그랬다 for you. Well, what about he or she? Just use regular 해야 되다, 해야 하다. So has to do something. 해야 되다. You have to do it. He has to do it. And use it in the past tense. So 가야, 가다, 가야 됐어요. He had to go. Or this can also mean I had to go. 저도 가야 됐어요. I had to go. 가야 됐어요. You needed to go. Literally. 가야 됐어요. You needed to go. Or in kind of loose translation, you should have gone. There are a few other ways you could say it too, but just basically the idea is if you're using I, you can use this. You're using this. If it's not I or you cannot use either of these two forms. You just use a regular form. You can say you should have done that. Literally, you should have done that. 해야 됐어요. 너도 해야 됐어요. You needed to do that. Literally. But you wouldn't use one of these forms to say that. So that's the end of today's lesson. Fortunately, I had enough hats to last through the lesson. So the lesson's over, but I will take questions for just 10 minutes, and then we'll stop the stream. So let me show you again the hats that we got for today. Thanks to Muku, Ibrahim, Alexis, Danger, Tater Tot, Ocean D, Alexis, Matthew, and Ahimang for these hats for today. Has it been 2 hours? Yes, it's actually been 2 hours since I started the live stream, but the lesson's only been an hour and a half. Yeah, hour 40-ish, yeah. I try to keep them a little shorter and with more audience interaction than last season. Thanks for the hats, yes. Okay. Yes, so any questions, any comments, feel free to make it in the chat now. But the lesson itself is over, so if you're watching live stream, you can feel free to finish up for now. Someone asked, was learning Korean hard? Yes. Were you stressed when you were learning it? Yes. Did you think of quitting? Yes. Everyone has trouble learning Korean, except, I suppose, Koreans who do it from when they're born. Alexis, you just want your name 3 times. Okay. Yeah, you got your name one here, Alexis F, Alexis F, Alexis F. You get your name 3 times. Let me look for a hat. I don't know if I have another hat. I really might be out of hats. I can't even enter my closet. My hats are like hitting the ceiling. Uh-oh. So I don't have another hat, but what I do have is a wig. So maybe I could do wig. Oh my gosh, I can't even reach the top of this hat anymore. Oh, the gold crown fell off. I gotta put the gold crown back on first. So I got a wig. So maybe a wig can, maybe a wig will work. A wig work. Okay, got the crown here. Oh my goodness. This doesn't even, this is ridiculous. It doesn't, this crown is like, totally doesn't want to stay on here. because I got this this beret here that's like taking up all the space. It's just so big. Okay, I got a wig. It's like funny. Like you think I'm like I'm actually crouching down because. Okay, there you go. I got this wig on. So I got a wig. There we go. Hat and a wig. I got a couple other wigs too, but I don't think I'm gonna get too far with wearing any more than this one. Okay. Wear the crown as a necklace. That could work. I think it's wearing shirts for every donation. I would die wearing like 7, 8 shirts. I think I have like at least this shirt I'm wearing right now. I have like 6 of them, and on the undershirt I have like 8 of them. So I think I would like die just by getting too hot. Billy is the male version of Dora. I don't know who that is. 이상해요. Okay. So yes, thank you everyone for coming. Any other quick Korean questions? Bring a fan. But I've got all of you guys. Waka waka. What do we have to give you to make you grow your hair that long? Gosh, $1,000 donation, because that would really make my video. That would really make my life really difficult. Like filming all my videos with long hair. Yeah, I had $1,000. I wouldn't even want to do it. Even if someone gave me $1,000, I wouldn't want to do it. Do you say he doesn't know? No, I know Dora the Explorer, but someone said Dora Low. I don't know what that is. Of course I know Dora the Explorer. Vamonos. Sniper no sniping. Okay. Sometimes I see 나보다 written form as just 보다. Oh yeah. Sometimes verbs are used in their incorrect plain form because they're being used as an auxiliary verb. So this is a bit of an advanced concept. Typically you conjugate verbs because 보다 means to see. However, 나보다, in that case, it's not just being used as the verb 보다. So you can conjugate it as 봐요, 본다, or whatever you want like that. But it's also being used as an auxiliary verb, which means it's not being used as a regular verb. It's simply being used as the helper verb for the verb it comes before to make the form, I guess. So you could see it as 보다, in which case people use it as talking to themselves, like talking to yourself out loud. 그랬나 보다. Like, I guess so. I'm just talking to myself. So it's used just like a plain tense like a plain form usage of that, even though it's not the correct plain form conjugation. It's not just that grammar form. A lot of grammar forms where you'll see it not conjugated at all. And that's because it's being used in those situations. It's whenever it's being used as an auxiliary verb, like part of a form, not just as the verb itself. So it has an extra option. There's some other verbs that do that too. 하다 even can do that too. You might see 하다 just used by itself. He sniped my lungs. Yeah, what's the other guy? What's the other guy? I forgot the Dora's friend's name. The guy. I can't remember his name. Because I haven't watched the show. I've just seen like parts of it. I always see 각 attached to different nouns or something verb. Can you give me an example? Because there could be a few different things. Sniper, no sniping. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, sorry. It's swiper, no swiping. 질투하다 is a action verb. So like I am jealous. I am jealous of that. I am what do we see? Covet might be a good way to think about it. It's a verb. It's actually doing something. 질투하다, 질투해. Like I am envious of that. Whereas 부럽다 is just simply I am envious. Like I am. Oh, like I feel jealous. Oh, 부럽다. I'm so jealous of that. You wouldn't say 질투해. 질투 is like you're actually being jealous of someone. Oh my goodness, my hats are hitting my light fixture. You wouldn't say 질투해 for something that you hear your friend does that you feel like, oh, that feels great. You know, I'm so jealous. If you say 질투해, that's like I'm actually jealous. I'm envious of you. I actually really am angry about that. So yeah, that's the difference. 부럽다 is what you'll say when you just want to say, oh, I'm so jealous. That's amazing. And 질투해 is when you're like, oh, he stole my girlfriend or he stole my boyfriend. 질투해, like that. 한국어 선생님일걸요? Not I suppose he will be. That would be 되다, to become. Like I suppose he will become. But it's I suppose he is a Korean teacher. Like I assume he's probably a Korean teacher. Like that. Swiper as a sniper. Don't break your lights, Billy. I paid for those. Oh, yeah. What you paid for with your donation was my microphone, actually. My microphone that I'm using, the microphone stand that I have. And then I also went and bought backdrop setup, which your donation didn't pay for that, but it totally inspired me to do it. The lights I have, though, behind, those were paid for by myself. They're very expensive. But, oh no, the wig fell off. I mean, oh no, my hair. Okay, I think that should be good. Okay, all right, everyone. So thanks for coming. I'll stop the stream here before I go too long. Billy can wear gloves for each donation. Where is the lesson today? The lesson today just finished as of like 10 minutes ago. Okay. And thank you for coming, everyone. Thanks again for the donations. And I'm glad there's no more because I only have some more wigs. I don't have any more hats. I have like two more wigs that I've used. Okay, so thanks, and I will see you guys next week. So make sure to check tomorrow for the live vote. It'll be on the community tab, and I'll see you guys again. 그럼 다음에 또 봐. Oh my goodness, so heavy. Oh, my head hurts. Oh my goodness.